Hi folks, and welcome to another online maths tutorial from CD Masterworks Limited. And today we're going to focus on a topic from the Expressions and Functions unit, determining composite functions. So the three exam type questions we're going to focus on today are type 1, f of g of number, type 2, f of g of x, and type 3, working backwards, finding the value of x. So the first skill we could possibly be asked in an exam is to determine the value of f of g of number. So two functions are defined as f of x equals x squared plus 3 and g of x equals 2x minus 1. And we've defined the value of f of g of 3 first of all. So this is a two-step problem. So first of all what we do is we find the value of g of 3, which is actually a National 5 skill. And we calculate that by subbing 3 into the g of x formula. So it would be 2 times 3 take away 1, which gives us an answer of 5. And now that we know that g of 3 is 5, that means we actually essentially calculate f of 5, and that's where we put the number 5 into the f formula. So it's going to be 5 squared plus 3, which gives us a final answer of 28. So our second example is to calculate g of f of minus 2. So again we focus on the term inside the bracket and we calculate the value of f of minus 2 first of all. So we go to the f formula, the f of x formula, and substitute in the value of minus 2. So minus 2 squared plus 3 gives us an answer of 7. And now that we know that f of minus 2 is 7, we essentially calculate the value of g of 7, and that's where we substitute 7 into the g of x formula. So it's 2 times 7 take away 1, which gives us a final answer of 13. Quite a simple process there. So here's a few questions for us to try, and if we're working on these at home, pause the video now. Okay, we've unpaused the video. That must mean you're ready for some answers. Number 1, we have an answer of 62. Number 2, 47. Question 3, we've got 167. Question 4, 27. And question 5 gives an answer of 5. And question 6 gives us an answer of minus 7 over 8. So a wee bit more complicated when dealing with fractions, and we leave an answer as a fraction in its simplest form if that's what it comes out as. So outcome 2, we're going to focus on question type 2, calculating the value of f of g of x. So that's where we have as a possible question, two functions are defined as f of x equals x squared plus 1 and g of x equals 2x minus 3. But this time we have to calculate f of g of x. So for this type of question, what I like to do is use templates. So we will start with the letter outside the bracket, which is f. So we start with the f function, and instead of writing an x, we put an empty bracket. So instead of writing x squared plus 1, we put empty bracket squared plus 1. And inside the empty bracket, we put g of x. So inside the empty bracket, we put 2x minus 3. And all we have to do now is square out the bracket and add 1 to our term. So to square a bracket, the quick way to do it is to square the first term, 2x squared. So that gives us 4x squared, 2x times 2x. We then times and double, so we've got 2x times 3, which is 6x. If we double that, that gives us 12x. And then we square the last term, so 3 squared is 9. And don't forget, once you've squared out the bracket, to plus the 1 as well, giving us a final answer of 4x squared plus 12x plus 10. So our second example, this time we start with the letter outside the bracket again, which is g. So we write down the g of x formula, 2x minus 3, but instead of putting an x in, we put an empty bracket in, like so, 2 bracket minus 3. And inside the empty bracket, we're going to put the f of x formula, which is x squared plus 1. And then all we do is multiply out the single bracket and take away 3. So 2x squared plus 2 take away 3 gives us a final answer of 2x squared minus 1. Here are 6 questions for you to try, and if you're working on these at home, pause the video now. Okay, you've unpaused the video, let's go over some answers. So question 1, 4x squared plus 4x minus 4. Question 2, 2x squared minus 9. Question 3, 9x squared minus 24x plus 18. Number 4, 3x squared plus 2. Number 5, 4a minus 18. And number 6, 4a squared plus 16a plus 12. Okay, our last outcome we're going to focus on today, working backwards, and that's finding the value of x. So this time again we get two functions, f of g of x is x squared plus 1, and g of f of x, which is 3x plus 5. Only this time it's asking us for what value or values of x does f of g of x equal g of f of x. So we're working backwards this time. We have to consider the two functions and actually find out the values of x for which these two functions are equal. So it's a simple emergency exam strategy here. Tells us to set the two functions equal, and that's what we're going to do first. So we have x squared plus 1 equals 3x plus 5. And we usually set functions equal or set expressions equal so that we can then set equal to 0. So we take away the 3x and we take away the 5 from the 1, and that gives us the expression x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. And the reason why we set equal to 0 is so that we can find x by factorising. So that's our simple trinomial, so bracket bracket, x and x, two numbers that times together to give us 4, which add together to give us minus 3. So it's going to be 1 and 4, and it needs to be minus 4 plus 1. We should be comfortable with factorising at this stage. And now we solve. So we're going to have x equals 4 and x equals minus 1, and that's our two values for x. So for the following questions here, we're going to set them equal to 0 and factorise, and try and determine the values of the letters given. And if we're working on these at home, please pause the video now. Okay, you've unpaused the video, let's go over some answers. So number 1, we should have got just x equals 7. Number 2, we should have got two values, x equals 4 and x equals minus 2. And number 3, we should have got two values, a equals minus a half and a equals 1. And that concludes our online tutorial for CFE Composite Functions, and I hope you found this useful, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you.